Likutei Moharan, Torah Alef, Ashrei Tamimi Darech, Haolchim B'Torah Hashem. In the previous video, we went over the first paragraph. Da ki al yedei Torah nitkablim kol tefillot v'kol bakashot she'anu mevakshim mitpalim. Through the Torah, our prayers are received and all our requests are received. And very quickly, in the first paragraph, Rabbi Nachman explains why, through learning Torah, Hashem receives and grants us our requests, because the Torah is what gives us chen. Okay, so chen, once again, I tried to describe what this idea of chen. Chen is like a spiritual beauty or a charm. It can also be called charm. And if you're watching the video as I was giving the lesson, you might notice that the picture links up to what I'm saying. It's not just a nice picture. It's supposed to kind of help illustrate some of the concepts that we're talking about. And what I was trying to say was that a chen is in two people. If someone has chen, if someone has this charm, it's because he's he has something inexplainable. A charm is an inexplainable thing that you have that finds grace in someone else's eyes, chen in someone else's eyes. And like, let's say somebody walking into a room. Sometimes you'll see somebody walks into a room and all the eyes are drawn to this person. This is the chen coming out of the other people's eyes and sort of giving this person a kind of aura. That's how I see what Rabbi Nachman is talking about. And chen, you can have a chen in the eyes of all. Am Yisrael can have chen in the eyes of all the people of the world, and you can also have chen in the eyes of Hashem. Okay, so just once again, just to give you like a visual. So you have this guy, okay, and he has this chen. He has this chen, an indescribable thing that people just, he walks into the room and people's eyes light up, and the chen, he finds chen in their eyes. There's the eye, and there's the chen coming out of his eye and surrounding this guy with this aura, this indescribable aura. And what Rabbi Nachman is saying is that only happens the true chen. Now, it's really important distinction. And Rabbi Nachman talks about this in another Torah. Is the sheker chen. It's based on what Shlomo Melech says in the song that we sing on Shabbat, Eshet Chayil Mi'imsa. And then he says sheker chen behevel yofi. There is a sheker chen. Rabbi Nachman is talking about chen amiti, but sheker chen, let's say, so this guy walks into a room and there's this indescribable chen that people just turn their heads and see this person and are inspired this person, or they just, this person finds grace in their eyes. Okay, this person has a charm. And he happens to be wearing this hat, the hat. And he's wearing it perfectly, but this is an aside. This is not where the chen is coming from. It's not coming from the hat. And then someone will get jealous and say, wow, if only I would walk into the room and people would notice me. But this guy, what's he doing? What's the secret? He's got this hat. Well, you know what? I'm going to get a hat. And I'm going to wear the hat. I can try to wear it the way he wears the hat. This is sheker chen. There's nothing in that hat, and you can try to wear that hat as perfectly as the other guy's wearing the hat. No one's gonna notice you, because what people notice is the chen amiti. The chen amiti is what really creates this aura of the charm. Okay, so that's why you notice. Rabbi Nachman won't put an extra word in for nothing. he says chen amiti. Let's quickly review the first paragraph, and then we'll get into the next paragraph. Bezrat Hashem. Daki al yedei haTorah nitkablim kol tefilot v'kol bakashot shanu mevakshim u'mitpalelim. Through the Torah, Hashem will grant us all our prayers and wishes. Only through the Torah, ve'achen, because the Torah, the chen comes from the Torah. Ve'achen ve'chashivut shel Yisrael nit'alev nitramem bifnei kol mi shetzrichim hen beruchani hen begashmi. Through this learning of the Torah, the chen and the importance of Israel is going to rise up and grow greater, whether it be the physical prayer, whether it be the physical prayers that we ask for, or the requests, the physical requests or the spiritual requests, because we have garnered this chen through the learning of Torah, we're going to find grace in the eyes of Hashem, and He's going to grant this to us. Ki achshav ba'avonotenu harabim achen b'chashivut ha'amiti shel Yisrael nafal. Whereas nowadays the chen is not really with us because of the sins that we've done, and the biggest sin that we did was forsaking the learning of the Torah, and the Beit Mikdash was destroyed, and the chen is not with us. The chen was dispersed into the world, and it's in England, and it's in Spain, and it's in Germany, it's in all these other places, but it's not where it's supposed to be, which is in the land of Israel or in the people of Israel, although that's slowly being corrected, if you notice. Ki achshav Ikar chashivut v'chen hu etzlam. The chen now is with them. Aval al yedei haTorah, but through the Torah, nit'aleh chen v'chashivut shel Israel. The chen is going to come back, and the importance of Israel is going to come back. Ki Torah nikret ayelet avim v'yalet chen. And here, Rabbi Nachman, he does bring a pasuk showing that this idea is found in the Sefer Mishlei that Shlomo Melech wrote. Ayelet avim v'yalet chen. The Ayelet is a symbol for the Torah, so Shlomo Melech is saying the Ayelet, the deer of love, which is metaphorically the Torah, v'yalet chen. The Torah is like a deer of love, and it v'yalet chen, and it raises up the chen, it raises up the charm of Am Yisrael. And then b'Masechet Yeruvim, it explains what v'yalet chen, ki haTorah shema'aleh chen al lomdeha. The Torah raises up chen on the person who is learning it. If you learn Torah, and you're learning it properly, and you're learning for the right reasons, you will find chen, you'll find grace in the eyes of Hashem, and there will be an aura of charm that surrounds you and protects you and helps you to receive all the requests that you're asking from Hashem. And through this process, learning Torah and then receiving this chen, finding chen in the eyes of Hashem, all your tefillot, all your prayers and all your requests are received and granted. Okay, that's where we got to. Now let's continue. Ki isha Israeli tzrich tamid listakel b'hasechel shel kol davar ulakasher atzmo el chochma b'hasechel sheyesh b'chol davar. Because now here's a side point. He's going to be talking about something that seems different, but it's really the same thing, just looking at it from a different angle. Now he's talking about Ish Israeli, the Israeli man, the Jewish person. Tzrich tamid listakel. He always needs to look. Besechel shel kol davar. You always need to look at the sechel, at the intelligence behind everything. With Rabbi Nachman, you have to contemplate everything that he's saying. You have to think about what he's saying, and then you have to go into the world and then see that it's true. What does it mean to look at the sechel behind everything? We live in a physical world. Olam Asiyah is the world of action. It's the world of cause and effect. It's the things of physical objects. Look in front of you. What do you see? You see a table. You see a computer. You see a book. Let's start with the table. It's a physical object. Rabbi Nachman is telling you, look at the sechel behind everything. So look at the table. There's sechel in the table. In anything, any physical thing. Doesn't matter if we're talking about a spiritual thing or it's something that's seemingly completely banal, something, a table. there is intelligence behind the table. Think about it. How did the table get in front of you? Someone had to make that table. Someone built the table. Someone cut down the tree. Someone made a kind of blueprint, made a plan to make the table. Everything before that table is the intelligence behind the table. There was a house, but in order for you to see this house in front of you and live in this house, there was a blueprint. This is the sechel. This is the intelligence behind the house. And this is true about anything in front of you. And once you start to see the sechel behind everything, you're starting to live in a spiritual world. That physical world opens up and shows that behind it there's a spiritual aspect to everything behind it. And our task as Am Yisrael is to always don't look at the table. You have to look at the intelligence behind the table, because the intelligence, that's the light of everything behind anything physical. Intelligence equals light, as Rabbi Nachman will continue to explain. So let him do that for me, okay? So ki Israeli tzurich tamid להסתכל בשכל של כל דבר ולקשר עצמו אל החוכמה והשכל שיש בכל דבר. The Israeli person has to always look at the intelligence behind everything and to connect himself to that wisdom and intelligence that is behind everything. You're not sitting at a table, you're sitting at something that somebody made from his mind and gave it to you. Wow, that's like so much more spiritual than just sitting at a table. You're always connected to something spiritual behind it, in some intent from someone else. And ultimately, this goes back to Hashem. You look at a plant, look at the sechel behind this tree or flower. You're not seeing a physical object, you're seeing this thing that was created through a blueprint that somebody concocted, that Hashem made a blueprint, and then from the blueprint, he made this flower, he made this tree. Now you're connected, not just the sechel, not just the intelligence of somebody who made the table. You're connected to the actual intelligence, kivyachol, of Hashem. And if you look at the world this way, you're always connected spiritually to other people and to Hashem. So our task is to always connect ourselves to this wisdom that is found in everything. Why do we need to do this? So that we light up by connecting to that intelligence behind everything. We're lighting up that intelligence that is behind the thing, and through that we are coming close to Hashem. As I tried to explain a little bit earlier, I hope you can see the line of logic behind it, that if you do this, you are connecting to Hashem automatically. Ki hasechel hu or gadol. Intelligence is a great light. All the light comes from intelligence. The light of the world is the light of Hashem's face, kivyachol. Okay, so if you look at somebody really, really smart, guaranteed his face is lighting up. Look at someone less smart, he doesn't have that same light coming from his face, but the brighter the mind, the brighter the face where the mind sits behind. It's shooting light through the face. And kivyachol, Hashem, it has intelligence, and that is also a huge light, and it's coming from kivyachol, his face. We talk about Hashem having a face, like not physically, but in as far as we can understand this process, we talk about it as if it's a face and the light coming out of the face, because whereas our intelligence comes from behind our face, and we're in Hashem's image. We say that Hashem's light comes from his face, kivyachol, in a manner of speaking. Okay, so ki hasechel hu or gadol. Intelligence is a great light, and it lights up in all the paths. Just like it said, Chochmat Adam te'ir panav. The light, the wisdom of a man will light up his face. This is from the book of Kohelet, that also Shlomo HaMelech, the wisest man who ever lived, wrote about. V'zeh b'chinit Yaakov. All this that we're talking about is an aspect of what Yaakov Avinu is about. Rabbi Nachman will use this word a lot, bechina, and he even said, Kol Torot sheli bechinot. All of my Torah are aspects. All my Torot are associations. Okay, so ze bechinat Yaakov. This is associated with Yaakov. He'll make connections. A is associated to B is associated with C, and therefore C and A are in a certain way spiritually they're the same thing. And he's saying this about Yaakov Avinu. What is this aspect of Yaakov Avinu? Ki Yaakov zacha lebechora. What happened when Yitzchak he thought he was going to give the Bechorah to Esav, but in fact he gave it to Yaakov. What was really going on behind that? Bechorah is Reshit, is the beginning, and Chochmah is the beginning. Reshit Chochmah, Irat Hashem. Reshit Chochmah, the beginning, is wisdom. And the Bechorah is also the beginning. He says the firstborn. So really, wisdom and the beginning is one. So this fight over who was going to be the beginning, Yaakov and Esav, is who is wisdom? Is Yaakov wisdom or is Esav wisdom? So Yaakov zachal bechorah. He merited to the bechorah, to get the blessing of the firstborn, shuhu reshit, which is the beginning, shuhu bechin chochmah, which is an aspect which is associated with chochmah. He merited to get the birthright, the firstborn birthright, which is associated with wisdom. Kamoshe katuv reshit chochmah, like it said in Tehillim, the beginning of the beginning is wisdom, or the beginning of wisdom. Wisdom is connected with the beginning. So he merited to get this firstborn thing, which is all about wisdom. And he'll bring another little hint showing that all this fight about the firstborn with Esav was about being the head and being wisdom through Uncleus. Uncleus was he was a Roman that converted to Judaism, and he became a major translator. Of the Torah. There's a mitzvah, the Rabbanan, to do Shnai Mikra Achat Tirgum. Every week, the Parshat Shvu, you're supposed to read it twice in Hebrew, but once you're supposed to read it in Aramaic. And the Aramaic that we read in order to do this mitzvah is the Aramaic translation that Uncleus wrote. Now sometimes he'll translate in a way that will give insight to the original Hebrew words of the Torah. For example, here, V'yakaveni ze pa'amayim. Esav, when he realized that Yaakov Avinu got the birthright, he got the firstborn blessing that Esav thought that he was going to get. He said, "Oh, Yaakaveni ze pa'amayim." He ousted me. He usurped me 2 times, because he actually already bought the birthright from him years earlier when he sold Esav the lentils. And Esav was really hungry. He said, "Give me those lentils, those red lentils." And he says, "Okay, give me the birthright." And he says, "Birthright? What do I need the birthright from? Take this birthright." And he got the lentils. Then, that was the first time. And the second time, Yaakov Avinu dressed up like Esav and actually received the blessing from Yitzchak Avinu. So Esav said, "Yaakaveni ze pa'amayim." He usurped me 2 times, which is why we call me Yaakov, because Yaakov is Ekev means the heel. There's a reason why he's called the heel, but he's also called the usurper. V'akaveni, ze pa'amayim. But Uncleus v'targum Uncleus, and Uncleus, he translates as v'chokmeni pa'amayim. Okay, he was wiser than me 2 times. He outsmarted me 2 times. As you can see, so what's Rabbi Nachman doing here? He's once again showing Yaakov is associated with Chokhmah. Why? Because the word Yaakveni, which is Yaakov, that's where his name Yaakov comes from, because Esav said Yaakveni. Uncleus translates Yaakveni as Chokhmeni. So another word for Yaakov is Chokhmah. Okay, v'zeh b'chinat shemesh. So, okay, let's stop for a second. So we've established that Yaakov, everything that Rabbi Nachman was talking about up until now, that the Israeli man, by the way, Israel is Yaakov, right? And he was later he changed his name to Yaakov, to Israel. So the Israeli man, which is basically the people that come from Yaakov, they're supposed to look at the sechel, the intelligence behind everything. Why? Because this is what connects us to Hashem. Because we're always connected to the spiritual aspect of every physical thing that you see. And this is what Yaakov Avinu is all about. And we see that Yaakov was the firstborn, and the firstborn is the beginning, and the beginning is wisdom. And Yaakov's name itself means wisdom, the way Uncleus translated it. And all this, Ze Bechinat Shemesh. So let's go back to what I said. Sometimes Rabbi Nachman, he does associations. He says A is B, and B is C, so C is A. So first Chokhmah is Yaakov, and he says and Yaakov is Hashemesh. He's the sun. That means the sun, there's an aspect of Chokhmah to the sun also. Okay, now why is he talking about the sun? Let's find out. We said that Chokhmah is a kind of light. It's a spiritual light, that when a person has Chokhmah, it lights up his face. And that's the sun. The sun is this light that's lighting up everything. So Chokhmah is likened to the sun. And now Rabbi Nachman is giving a pasuk. This is all associated with this pasuk. The path of the tzaddikim, of the righteous ones, is like this glowing light that goes and lights up the whole day. Okay, so now it's not just wise people that have this light. Really, it's a spiritual light. It's from righteous people. It comes hand in hand in our lives, that chokhmah and tzaddikud, like righteousness and wisdom, they go together. But righteousness trumps wisdom. Okay, so someone who learns a lot but isn't doing, all that learning is for naught. It's not. It's someone who learns and does good deeds. The learning is amazing. The learning is in the eyes of Hashem. This is true learning. We're not learning theory here. It's not philosophy. It's so that we can better our lives. So really, it's a tzaddikim. It follows that they've got the chokhmah. A wise man, not necessarily tzaddik, but tzaddik, he's taken it's someone who's already taken the wisdom and incorporated it into their lives. It's like chokhmah plus. It's like the next step after chokhmah. And these tzaddikim, the light of the tzaddikim, light up the world so much. This is basically the source of light of the world. Through Hashem, Hashem's light through the tzaddikim. Oh, and finally, we're getting to the chet. I said in 2 lessons ago, there's going to be something about a chet. Chet is the 8th letter of the alphabet. Remember I said Ashrei Tamim Derech, the Perek of Tehillim, is the alphabet 8 times. Because 8 is Lashon Chiyut. I'm sorry, not 8. Chet is Lashon Chiyut. every word of every letter means something. The word Alef, like Alef Bina, Alef is to learn. An ulpan is well, in modern Hebrew it's a studio, but it comes more from a studio of learning, because Aleph is the meaning of Aleph is learning. Bet is like a bayit, it's like a house. Gimilut Hasidim, Gimilut is to give. Dalit is a door, but it's also dal, it's someone who's poor. Chet is from the word chiyut, and chiyut is life source of life. All of what Rabbi Nachman was saying in this paragraph is all an aspect of chet, which is chiyut. Why? Because a chokhmah v'asechel hu a chiyut shel kol davar. Like we said, that you have to look at the sechel, you have to look at the intelligence behind everything, because that's where the life source is coming from. This table is filled with life, but the table itself, this table that I'm looking at, you can't see the table, but this table that I'm looking at, it is a physical object. It's not moving, it's not alive, but is filled with life, because it's filled with the sechel of the one who made the table. And this, you can say the same thing about everything. When you follow the logical order of that behind everything, you see that everything is filled with this life force, and this is embodied in the letter chet, which means chiyut. And this is what, so the chokhmah is the life force behind everything that you see in the world. K'mo shekatuv, ha-chokhmah tichayeh. It's also from the wisest man, whoever lived, Shlomo HaMelech, in the Sefer Kohelet, so he should know what he's talking about when he's talking about chokhmah. And all his books, Mishlei and Kohelet, it's just filled with chokhmah, with wisdom. And he says, chokhmah tichayeh. Wisdom, it fills someone else. It fills someone up with life. Okay, so it's a lot of stuff in one small paragraph, and it's all talking about the one same thing. Instead of using the word chen, now they're talking about chokhmah. Now Rabbi Nachman is talking about chokhmah. He's talking about Yaakov, which is chokhmah. He's talking about the first, which is also chokhmah. The chokhmah is the first point that branches out until you get to the physical thing that you're looking at. Talking about the light of someone's face, of a person's face, of Hashem's face, kivichol, and it's talking about chet, which is the 8th letter of the alphabet, which means chiyut. And I think this is a good place to stop. It's sometimes takes a long time just to get through one paragraph. Now, the objective is for you to remember what we've learned, because this is another building block for the next part. The next part, he's going to stop talking about this and talk about something else. And it's connected to what he's saying before. You have to remember what he's saying and then move forward and then learn the new thing. And whenever you learn something, you go into the world and you see how it's true. So it's a big process. It's work. You go, but it's fun work. It's the most amazing process ever. You go out, you start looking at the world, and you remember what Rabbi Nachman said, and you look and you see how what he's saying is true, and you bring it into your life. So until next time, let's think about what we've learned here, so that when we go to the next paragraph, we'll be ready to add this new part and this new building block to this big picture that Rabbi Nachman is creating.